All right, so we're going to talk about graphing using the slope-intercept form. So we've kind of talked about this. So slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope. So m is your slope here. And remember, that's like the y2 minus y1 or rise over run. And then we also kind of talked about this with the b value being your x-intercept. Okay, and that's where your y-intercept. That's where y crosses the x-axis. Sorry, where it crosses the y-axis. Okay, so the y-intercept is where the y crosses the y-axis. Okay, so that's always going to be our starting point. And we kind of wrote that over here. So slope, remember, is rise over run. And our y-intercept is where y crosses the y-axis. So it's 0, comma b. That'll make more sense when we talk about this. It's also our starting point. So it's where we start when we're going to graph. So steps to graphing. Number one, start at the y-intercept. So we're always going to plot the y-intercept first. So start. If I could spell, that'd be great. STA. Start by plotting y-intercept. Okay. And then we move our slope. Then from that point, from the y-intercept, you're gonna move using your slope. Move slope up. So up and either to the right or the left. And then we're gonna do the same thing, then move slope down. Again, either to the right or to the left. This would be a positive, this would be a negative, this would be a negative, this would be a positive. Oh, okay, I erased everything. Negative, positive. Okay, last thing, then connect all your points. Connect. So I know that was kind of confusing, and it'll make a little bit of sense once we look at the first one. So like looking at the first one, remember our equation is y equals mx plus our b. And our b is our y-intercept. That's where we start. It's where it crosses our y-axis. So it crosses our y-axis at +1. So I'm going to put a point at +1. So that's where my y-intercept is. My slope then is 3/4, which remember we rise 3, we run 4, and because it's positive, we go up and to the right. So from here, we're gonna go up 3, 1, 2, 3, right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's our first point. We would go again up 3, 1, 2, 3, right 4, 1, 2, 3, but there's no so, because we can't keep on going up and to the right, then we're gonna go down and to the left. So we're gonna go down 3, 1, 2, 3, left 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, we're going to have the same issue where we can't go any further. So now we have as many plots as we can, and we're just going to connect those. All right, so I'm going to do one more with you. So again, this is our slope. This is our b value, but now it's not just a 2, it's a -2. So on my y-axis, I'm going to go down to -2, plot that point. My slope is up 1, over 2 to the left. So we go up and to the left, and then down, just up and to the left, and down and to the right. So up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. Again, we do as many points as we can. And we're going to do as many as we can because once we start graphing 2 of them, 2 lines on the same thing, which we'll do next unit, it's going to be a lot easier if you do all the dots. Okay? And then we just connect those points. I'm going to let you do C on your own and D. So I'm going to have you do C, D, and E on your own. I want to talk about F. So F is, here's your slope, but there's no B. There's no B there, so it's really plus a 0. So we start at the origin, 0, 0. Then we move up, and our slope is 3. Since it's just 3, remember it's 3 over 1. So I go up and to the right because it's positive. So we go up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1. And then we go down and to the left because I can't go up and to the right any further. Down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1. And then we simply connect all, oh, I did a bad job connecting those points. Connect those points. That's a little better, not great. Okay. So that's that. So I want you to pause and try example C, D, and E for me. Pause and try C, D, and all right, so check your answers against mine. So for C, we started down at -3, then we're going up and to the right because it's positive. D, it was negative, so we're going up and to the left. And remember, since it's just -4, it's really 4 over 1. E might have been your tricky one. We go down to -4, that's where we start. There was no number written here in front of the X, right? There's nothing there. So there's an implied 1. And remember, 1 is 1 over 1. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the next part. So this part we have to write first, get them in slope-intercept form. So we have to get y alone is what we're trying to do. And then once we do that, then we graph, okay? So how can I get this y alone? Well, think about solving an equation. I have to subtract 2x, get that y alone. So now I have -y equals -2x minus 2. Is -y the same thing as a positive y? No, right? So we have to divide everything by -1. That's going to give us y equals 2x plus 2. And then we just graph from there, okay? And I'm going to let you graph that on your own. I'm going to do one more example with you. This one, so again, we want to get this y alone. So we have to get rid of this 5x by subtracting 5x on each side. We're left with 2y on the left and then -5x. I'm not going to write that plus 0 because I don't need to. And then I need to get y alone still, so I divide by 2. And I get y equals -5/2 x. Okay? So remember that there's nothing there, so you could write your plus 0, and that's where you start with your b. Okay? So I want you to graph a, b for me, and then practice solving for y and graphing that on your own. Okay? And we'll go over those in class the next time we see each other. All right.